It's happened. Mr. President, another YouTuber is making a video about how bad the MMORPG space is. Playable fun interferes with monetization. You're right. If you can't inconvenience your players, you can't get them into the cash shop. It's disgusting. Now let's see what Mr. Muay Thai here has to say. You know, Lazy Peon has been such an interesting character arc to watch. Because he started phoning in his MMO content right about as MMOs were falling off. He disappeared to Thailand and he was so angry about it that he just started fighting people. Which is completely untrue, and I'm bullshitting everything, but it sounds better that way. Poor man. I hope he feels better. Let's see. MMO players are sick and tired.
Who's been covering the MMORPG genre on YouTube for the past 10 years, I've noticed that in recent years the MMO community's attitude to new announcements, upcoming games, and the genre as a whole has certainly shifted from being somewhat optimistic to more pessimistic.
Yes.
And who can blame them? I've noticed it especially in myself. A couple of years ago, whenever a new MMO was announced, I was excited to make content and dive into the details for basically every upcoming game in the genre. Nowadays though, I'm less quick to even cover newly announced upcoming releases because deep down, I know that there's a high chance they either won't make it to a full release, or they'll struggle to maintain a player base for longer than,
or they're just an outright scam.
1 year. In this video, I'm going to talk about why MMO players are growing sick and tired of the genre, as well as discuss if things will change anytime soon.
I don't think so.
First, support the content by...
Honestly, I'm starting to think that the MMO genre, like, this is very cynical, but I think it's going to go the way of the RTS. There are just better live service models for games that aren't MMORPGs that people would rather play instead. Why would you play as a young kid, as someone who's like in their early 20s? Why would you play World of Warcraft when all of your friends are playing Fortnite? Why would you wait 10 levels for a dopamine hit in Guild Wars 2 when you can get the exact same dopamine hit in 5 minutes? RTS has been making a bit of a comeback recently. It's made a niche comeback where people are like, damn, remember the good old days? That's how that works.
By listening to today's sponsor, Watcher of Realms, the next-gen fantasy RPG that's redefining strategic combat on both PC and mobile. This game
I always love ads like this, because it's like, MMOs are dead. Now here's a dog shit MMO mobile game for you to play. It's so good. Get your money, king. Rinse them. Take them for all they're worth. Sell me this piece of shit.
Features over 200 heroes across 10 factions, endless PvE content, epic raid bosses, and even intense GVG battles. On top of that, the stunning CG, top-notch audiovisual effects, and highly detailed character designs are seconds to none. They even included user-friendly features like background auto-fights, quick startup,
like tits,
and custom gear enhancement tools to make it easy for new players to jump in and catch up quickly. And for their second anniversary, they're introducing a game-changing new class, the Tactician. These heroes add an entirely new layer of strategy to battles. Their ultimates let you reposition units in real time.
This honestly just looks like an advance on the formula of Raid Shadow Legends,
allowing for offensive pushes, defensive blocks, or even intercepting deadly blows. This grid-based displacement mechanic truly blends offense and defense, giving you unprecedented control and tactical flexibility. We're also getting new knight heroes, Moradin and Valara, who belong to the new Tactician class and bring unique battle mechanics and bond skills, perfect for buffing allies, reducing enemy defenses, and knocking foes back. And it's not just new heroes. The second anniversary celebration is absolutely stacked with free rewards. Just by logging in daily and participating in events.
Hold on, he's an absolute sellout and he is so shameless about it, but he knows his audience knows he just does it for the money. But hey, as long as they are paying him, he doesn't give a flying fuck. And that's a great approach. Look, I don't think he's being a sellout, right? I don't think like you can put it down to like the artistic thing and it's all about the art, but you know what art doesn't do? It doesn't keep the fucking lights on. It doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't get you laid until it makes money. So I get it. Get as much cash as you can out of these fuckers. Do an ad read. I understand. It's a job. I don't mean it in a negative way. I genuinely think no, of course it's a W for him. And I get what you mean, right? A lot of people look at it like ad reads are terrible and all of this stuff, but like there's like a sacrifice you have to make between I need to feed myself and be able to keep on going, and I know this is a piece of shit. But you know what this ad read is better than? It's better than a bunch of small YouTubers who I know about who constantly push dog shit games on people, get paid money for a full 10-minute video that is sponsored, and they don't mark it as sponsored. And they do it all the time. They straight up lie. And one day, all of them, the ones from 500 subs all the way up to 50,000 subs, all of those fuckers are going to get caught. And I hope they pay the price for it, because that is deceptive practice. At least he's nice enough to tell you this is an ad read for some fucking shitty mobile game.
You can earn an incredible 119 summons for free. Plus, you'll get the legendary hero Astriel, new skins, emotes, a summoning stone skin, an avatar, a legendary skill crystal, and so much more. There's also a lot of fun mini games like Bingo and the Abyssal Derby you can participate in to earn even more rewards. It's truly the best time to dive into Watcher of Realms, so click the link in the description or scan that QR code to download Watcher of Realms for free on PC, Android, and iOS, and start your legendary journey today.
Peon isn't hurting for that YouTube money, pretty high view counts. I mean, he lives in Thailand, so it is a lot cheaper for him, but the CPM on gaming videos has gone way the fuck down ever since the PewDiePie bridge incident. It's gone way down. So he might still be on that monthly grind to make sure he can pay his bills, but I'm willing to bet he's doing a lot better than most are. So that's a fair statement. Also, thanks for the follow, Killer Insync. I mean, hell, stack as much bread as you can, and that's what he's doing. He's opened up a bakery.
So, the biggest reason why I think MMO players have a less positive attitude to the genre nowadays than, say, 10 years ago, is that in the past 8 years, not a single new MMO release has managed to break into the top 5 most played games in the genre and stay there for longer than a few months. The top 10 most popular...
Are those just all variants on the New World chart?
Played
Hold
games
on.
in the
Okay, Throne and Liberty, New World, Arc Age, and Bless.
And stay there for...
It's the same fucking hockey stick chart. Found your content as I'm trying to sink hours into Guild Wars 2. I must say you're the Louis C.K. Well, I hope I never get caught trying to lock women in a room and jack off in front of them. If I'm being honest with you, that would be a bad way for things to end for me, particularly because I'm married. That would be horrible.
Longer than a few months. The top 10 most popular MMOs are WoW,
I know
LSRS, Final Fantasy...
Killer, I know what you meant. I'm full of shit. I'm full of shit as a human being. I make everything into a joke.
14, Black Desert Online, Albion Online, Guild Wars 2, ESO, EVE Online, MapleStory, and RuneScape 3. Most of these MMOs are really old. Albion Online and BDO are the newest to secure spots in the top 10, with Albion releasing in 2017 and BDO...
Fuck. "2017 was nearly 10 years ago. What the fuck happened? Maybe we need to strike up a deal with Blizzard and tell them that they can molest a few of their employees, and we'll let them get away with it if the next MMO they make is good. Maybe a little bit of breast milk is okay if they make the next MMO that's good. Like a StarCraft MMO or something. Maybe Susan can deal with it for like a year or two until they crank out a good game. Then we can worry about firing them.
Releasing in Korea back in 2014. MMOs are games that take a lot of investment, so whenever a new MMO does come out these days, in the back of your mind you're thinking, there's a 99% chance that 1 to 2 years from now this game will be dead, which is a really
2 years is a long timeline, more like 1 to 2 weeks.
Crappy feeling to have. We've seen this with games such as Throne and Liberty, New World, Core Punk, PAX Day, Arcade Unchained, Bless Unleashed, Bless Online, Brighter Shores, and many, many more. I guess this is another reason why nowadays people would rather invest times into the older games in the genre rather than play the newer stuff. Odds are, WoW, Final Fantasy XIV, and OSRS will still be here 5 to 10 years from now.
Probably.
The moment I started to enjoy the genre again was when I decided to just commit to the older games and stop looking for the next big thing.
I think I'm going through what he's already gone through, where I'm thinking about just looking at the old MMOs and just not bothering with any of the new shit. I might end up doing that. Because what's the point? I mean, we all know that Ash's creation is going to be perfect though, right? It's going to be flawless. And I think Blizzard wants to crank out new games. You got a better chance with the Koreans. The problem with the Koreans is that they build payment systems and then they attach a mini game to it and pretend it's an MMO, and they lie about it being an MMO. That's the issue.
If a big new MMO comes out and it's a lot of fun, then great. If not, no worries, I'll be enjoying myself with old school RuneScape regardless. Another big reason why people are sick and tired of new MMOs is that they've seemingly hit a point where they objectively haven't massively improved or innovated in the past 10 years.
Yes.
When it comes to action combat, the gold standard is still Black Desert Online, a game that took 4 to 5 years to develop and release.
It's only the gold standard because you're not watching the enemy you're fighting. You're watching your character's ass jiggle back and forth. Let's make that clear. It's not like you didn't try when the Koreans were hyping up Chrono Odyssey. You were right on top of that. I was actually really excited for Chrono Odyssey. I genuinely thought it was good, but it was all just a bunch of manipulative shit that was happening in the background with the trailer. I was so looking forward to at least Chrono Odyssey being okay for a year or two that I made a video about how they could fix their fucking game. And it's never happening.
In 2014, no other MMO has actually.
Why does this guy's voice sound like he's talking about a murder mystery case? Because MMOs are dead. That's why.
Combat anywhere near the level of BDO. For tab targeting, World of Warcraft is still the gold standard in terms of fluidity and responsiveness.
Fair.
We frequently get modern MMOs releasing nowadays with worse combat than what existed 10 to 20 years ago, and it's hard to wrap your head around why. It feels like we're going backwards. Games like Bitcraft, PAX Day, Quinfall, Embers of Drift, Bless Unleashed, and Core Punk all have dog-tier combat that makes you question how they even released in that state. Even Korean MMOs in recent years seem to have forgotten how to design good combat. Korean devs used to be masters of creating the best action combat in the genre, but recently we've had Throne and Liberty, a game heavily criticized for being clunky as hell. To be fair,
do you know what I think happened was all the old... So you know what happened with Nintendo, right? When it came to Pokemon? And why Pokemon got worse was because there was like one guy who understood how to make Pokemon games. And then that one guy died. And all of them no longer knew how to make like good Pokemon games anymore. And I think what's happened with MMORPGs is all the guys who were really good at designing like action combat or tab targeting systems and really, really, really knew what they were doing was they've either retired, committed suicide, or died. And they left their notes behind. And instead of reading their notes, the new devs that got hired ran their notes through ChatGPT. And whatever the output was that they got, they just put that into a video game. ESO's action combat is great, the shop. So my problem with ESO's action combat is it feels weightless. It feels very floaty. Very, very fucking floaty.
Fair, the gameplay got a bit better with a few updates, but it's still nowhere near the level of World of Warcraft. Chrono Odyssey is another one, recently did a beta test, combat...
Oh man. There's so much potential with Chrono Odyssey, and just like New World, it's living up to none of it.
Wasn't great, people weren't impressed, needs a lot of work to even be passable. And just take a look at the latest Korean slop MMO.
But imagine how shit it's going to get once everything is generated and coded by AI. Funnily enough, you say that, Farrowin, but it might actually get better. Because we might be at the bottom of the barrel with human programming. I think the AI could probably drag something together that would actually be better than what we're getting currently. Do you know why? The AI doesn't have to worry about HR. The AI doesn't have to worry about offending Susan in the office. The AI doesn't have to have a conversation with their fucking boss about making a 3-page document because they want to change one thing about the MMO so it's better gameplay. The AI is probably going to be some crazy fat guy in a basement who loves MMOs, loves the genre, and he's telling the AI what to do. And the AI and that fat guy, that fat wizard, might actually make a better MMO than any of the shit we've seen come out of AAA industries. Just don't feed AI with rat pirates codes. Yeah, please, God, no.
To be announced at G-Star called Architect. Clearly mobile, PC, console, cross-platform based on the user interface, every ability, heavy static animation locks, clunky movement, janky animations. You can tell just by looking at it that the gameplay is complete arse. Bellatorus, another upcoming Korean MMO. Granted, it looks a bit better than Architect, but still, it really doesn't look that great, does it? The dodges especially just look atrocious. This is what I mean about upcoming MMOs seemingly not progressing or straight up going backwards compared to what was releasing a decade ago. As someone who reviews MMOs, it feels like during my...
Bellatorus is just UE5 slop. You know, I feel like Unreal Engine 5 has been the death knell of MMORPGs because everyone's just making Unreal Engine 5 games, and it's made shit too easy. Because instead of devs doing unique and specialized things within Unreal Engine 5, they're just clicking and dragging boxes and linking different process flows to each other, and then just leaving it as the stock standard shit with no like nuance behind it. I feel like anything that's touched Unreal Engine 5 as a game has been such a fucking bad idea, because it's kind of like how, you know, like the old masters of video games understood exactly what they were doing all the time. Because they had to understand from baseline mathematics how to make something work. These motherfuckers in these offices are just, oh, Unreal Engine 5, I'll just go into the movement asset store. I'll buy this for $5. I'm going to use this movement system. And it's just the most shitty movement system in the world.
Pros and cons sections, it's very rare that I'll list gameplay and combat as a pro for modern MMO releases.
Fair.
I think Ashes of Creation is probably the only recent exception here, as that does feel like an evolution to the combat in Guild Wars.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I played Ashes of Creation a lot. It doesn't feel like an advancement on the formula. It just feels like an adaptation of the formula. We didn't move forward, we moved sideways.
Too. If you look at other gaming genres, Souls-likes, survival, turn-based RPGs, anime gacha games, ARPGs, and FPS, these genres have seen huge
What class did you play? I tried all of them.
innovations and improvements over the past decade.
I stopped playing just before I think it was the release of the Dwarf. So yeah.
In ways that the MMO genre has not. The difference between games released 10 years ago for these genres compared to now is night and day. Across the board, you've got better graphics, smoother gameplay, more spectacle, new types of content, new progression systems, better animations, and new innovative.
I've heard so many good things about this game, and I don't know if it's actually that good or not. But everyone seems to think that this is going to be like a museum piece game that everyone's going to look back on one day.
Systems. The top 10 games in each of these respective genres has fluctuated much more than the top 10 games in the MMO genre. I actually think there's multiple reasons why the MMO genre hasn't really progressed as much as other gaming genres though. Just to name a few, you've got the rise of mobile gaming in the mid-2010s. I think this set the MMO genre back heavily. Developers saw that mobile games had the potential to make infinitely more money than PC games for a fraction of the development cost, and as a result, many of the top MMO developers shifted their focus to mobile games or mobile PC console crossplay, which inevitably results in a worse gameplay experience as you've then got.
Do you know why? Do you know why they keep on doing crossplay with mobile games? The cost development of a mobile game or a game that you put on mobile is about 75% cheaper than an online game that's live service on a PC. It's a much lower barrier to entry. And unlike mobile game players, most PC players are not even close to the levels of simpery that you see in mobile games. Mobile game players have been so well trained, like good little doggy bitches, to pay for their fucking shit, to pay $5 for stupid fucking blocks and pretty pixels, that they understand what an untapped market it is. Mobile games are some of the most profitable things you will ever see. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at the profitable returns that Candy Crush makes. Go look at any kid's game. There's literally, I saw this the other day. I was looking at mobile games for kids on iPads and like fucking phones and shit like that. There's literally a game about taking care of dogs, right? Where you take care of like puppies and shit. And every now and then a pop-up shows up that you can add a new dog to like your stable or whatever the fuck it is. And if you say no, instead of paying money, the dog starts crying. Now imagine the sweet, cute face of a puppy being put in front of a fucking 7-year-old or whatever the fuck. And the kind of breakdown a kid has when you say no to them, because now the cute puppy's going to be sad. And you know what I think? I think that's a real missed opportunity by those mobile game devs. Because what they should do is they should have, if you press the no button, you should have someone walk on screen and ISIS execution that fucking puppy live on camera in front of that child. They will never again not click the buy button. Can you imagine how much money they'd make doing that? So it's a real missed opportunity by them.
Got to design a game to be playable with mobile screen size restrictions and limited inputs. The success of the free-to-play, pay-to-win and pay-for-convenience business models, starting all the way back in MapleStory, has caused more and more developers to design games in a way that they'd create problems to then sell you solutions on the cash shop.
Yep.
I believe that the popularity of transmog systems turned out to be a bad thing for the genre as a whole, as for most games it results in a diminished sense of visual progression during leveling, as well as developers being incentivized to make the coolest outfits cash shop cosmetics rather than earned through in-game achievement. And finally, I believe that MMO developers have for the most part taken the wrong design path for the past 20 years.
Yeah, because a bunch of Karens in HR get really upset whenever anyone tries to make something new or innovative, and a bunch of retards in fucking like the marketing departments keep on saying, no, we got to churn out the same slop because 10 years ago this slop made money. So we need to redo the slop and do it again because this time it's gonna work.
The success of World of Warcraft resulted in many games taking the theme park MMO route, where MMOs are only as big as their latest expansion or content patch. Everyone's trying to catch up and get to the end game as soon as possible, and as soon as you stop playing for a few months, your progress and accomplishments have been invalidated by the new content. Your previous best in slot raid.
If they keep on making new content where every week everything you previously did and accomplished is invalidated, why bother playing? Why bother? Because you can just catch up anyway. Okay, never mind. I guess the mods nuked nearly all of the content on Gacha Gaming. Hold on. Transmog system Guild Wars 2 is perfectly fine. But of course, pairing that with Gem Store and good skins fuck up the visual progression. It's all pay to win. All of it. Every single piece of it is pay to win.
Gear is now equivalent to that of catch-up gear, obtainable in a few hours. The rising popularity of old-school RuneScape in the past few years has shown me that the design path MMO devs should have taken was that of the curated sandbox. Timeless design where new content only adds to the world and doesn't invalidate the previous content.
Horizontal design. Something Guild Wars 2 did. I think this is why I keep on saying this. I think currently Guild Wars 2 is the best time capsule of what an MMO used to be like. It's not perfect. There is still obviously power creep, but it's better than anything else I've seen.
In all fairness, despite everything I've said in this video, making MMOs is clearly game development on extreme hard mode. These games take years to make, they cost the most to develop, and you're competing with older games that not only have 10 to 15 years of live content development over you, but they've also got heavily invested player bases that aren't going to be so quick to jump ship to another game due to years of time investment. Huge MMOs from big studios often get cancelled. To name a few, we've recently had the Untitled ZeniMax Online MMO get cancelled.
There we go.
Hytale was cancelled, even with the support of publisher Riot Games.
There we go.
EverQuest Next, the Marvel MMO, the Riot MMO had to restart development.
How many times has the Riot MMO restarted development now? 2? 3 times? Jesus.
Project Titan was initially an MMO before being reworked into Overwatch. Then we've got countless Kickstarter MMOs like Chronicles of Valeria, Camelot Unchained, Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, and far too many to even mention that either ran out of money, went through development hell, or are still in development. Is there any hope though? Are we ever likely to see MMOs become as popular as they were in the early to late 2000s? Honestly, I don't know. I'd always hoped that with technology improving, developers could potentially use AI to assist them with coding so that MMOs could be developed in a quicker time frame.
Excuse me, ChatGPT. I suck. Program my shit. Here's the problem, is AI is not at the point where it's going to give you perfect code. AI, I said this before, but you can code something for 3 hours, or you can ask ChatGPT to code you the thing and then spend the next 5 hours debugging. That's the issue. ChatGPT, Grok, any AI system will fucking hallucinate pieces of code that doesn't exist. It cannot do something as simple as write a custom script for fucking Google Sheets. You think it's going to understand a video game? Probably not. They shouldn't have named it Titan. It's spelled Doom for subsequent MMO projects. Yeah, something about the title Titan. Something about that title just leads to destruction. It's like the Chris Chan medallion of MMO names. There's something evil about it.
But I'm not too sure if that's the
ChatGPT is also limited to information before a certain date. No, those are the outdated models. Now it's got live access to everything that exists.
case because I'm not a developer. At this point, I'm aware that most of you watching this video are probably in your late 20s to early 40s. We're getting old, and a lot of us just want something to relax with after work and get that good brain feeling from seeing the number go up.
Yeah, you know how it is. After you're done beating your wife and your child, you need something to help you, like, reset and calm down. That's what we need. Something simple, like PvP in an MMO.
You can still do that with the old MMOs, OSRS, Ultima Online Outlands, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, Guild Wars 2, BDO. These are still fun games you can relax with. OSRS in particular is aging like a fine wine, and I've personally sank over 2,000 hours into it on my Iron Man this past year alone. In Buddhism, the second noble truth—
Damn, all these people are psyoping me into making me want to play OSRS. And I don't know if I want to fall for it. The council of MMO people keep making me want to play this goddamn game.
that suffering comes from desire. Gratitude is also one of the keys to happiness. So instead of constantly looking for the next big thing, perhaps it's best to accept what we have now and try to enjoy it for what it is.
No, that's loser mentality. Don't accept it. If it's unfucking acceptable, keep telling them that.
But that's it for this video. To be honest, I just wanted an excuse to rant and ramble about the state of the genre after playing a few of these newer MMOs that seem worse than stuff releasing in the early 2010s. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you for putting up with me today, and also let me know in the comments below if you've had the same feeling of confusion about how some of these newer MMOs are failing so hard. Social media on screen, help us out with a like for the algorithm if you enjoyed the vid. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Actually a good video. Actually a based video from Peon. Understandable. Let's see what we got here. Old MMO is made by passion and the new MMO is made for profit. Yes. It's not just MMORPGs. Games used to be made by fans for fans. Now they're made for shareholders that don't give a flying fuck about stock prices. Thing is, finished games are no longer released these days. Developers release early access versions in a very raw state. Then people see this, they get disappointed, they quit the game. Then developer sees that no one is playing anymore and shuts down the project. Why do these people have to come in here and tell the truth? Why can't I just live in a world of delusion? God damn it. We're getting old. Thank you for the reminder. I just want to live in a fantasy world with other players. No MMO really gets it. We've been sick and tired. This is coming from a 20-year-old middle-aged MMORPG vet. Players are increasingly jaded and cynical due to countless heartbreaks, disappointments. Absolutely. Look at this. Look at this. Everyone feels this way. I miss Terra. Okay, we've got a delusional one. Sadly, I don't think this is just limited to MMORPG genre. It's everything over the last 10 years. Man, is gaming dying? What the fuck? I'm feeling like this is like MMORPGs are just the tip of the dick and everything's getting cut off. God damn. What the fuck? Jesus. I didn't need these reality checks today. This hurts. I really didn't need this. Fuck. Gaming isn't dying, it's being industrialized and automated. Yeah, it's kind of like there's a loss of an art form occurring before our very eyes. It's kind of like Disney movies, they all suck now. You proposed an unholy alliance with Blizzard, I propose different unholy alliance. Zoomers. The next MMO needs to be designed so that it captures the TikTok ADHD. Okay, so what you want the mechanics to be is you can only swipe up or down. And if you see an oversized pair of ass cheeks, you've got to jack off to get points in the game. That's what you're telling me.